spicy, mild, or somewhere in the middle. Answering all your questions, so turn it up a little. It's a meat dude. Yeah, it's a meat dude. Yeah.
Episode 12. Gonna have a guest on today. You bailed out on golf last week. I don't know. You said something about being tired or something, working really hard.
Yeah, last week I decided that I wanted a night on the couch instead of golfing, unfortunately. So we have nothing to report. You didn't beat me, I didn't beat you.
Well, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, so we got nothing to report.
I dominated while taking third place, so
yeah.
Sounds about right.
We'll see. If this weather turns around this Wednesday, I will we'll get back into the swing of things.
I am actually going to go fishing, so
I'm going to beat you this Wednesday,
yeah.
So there we go.
Sounds good. All right, that sounds good. We're going to have a new segment. Pretty excited about this. So we've been talking about different ways to kind of reach out and get more listeners and get more interaction through Facebook, because we're always looking for questions for the Meat Dude. So now we're going to do a segment called Meat of the Week.
Beef, pork, chicken, it's gotta be finger licking though. It's the meat of the week.
We're going to take different submissions through comments in Facebook, and we're going to do different meats of the week, and came up with a cool little soundbite for it on the ukulele. Since it's been hanging up there, I got to at least let people know I know how to use it. It's not just a prop.
Yeah, and we do have to say this was an idea of one of our listeners.
Yeah.
And we're going to take it and we're going to run with it. And we're looking forward to seeing everybody's weekend warrior cooks or professional cooks. That'd be awesome to see some professional submissions too.
Yeah.
But just whatever. It could be barbecue. It could be
no limitations.
Cooking, just meat related.
Yes,
I mean,
absolutely.
is the limitation.
Yes,
but yeah.
Yes, I guess. I hope people understood that.
Like if you send a picture of your cake, I'm gonna be like,
that better be a meatloaf.
I got nothing, man. But looking forward to it.
Yeah, that'll be really cool. All right, today we have a guest. We're going to be pretty excited to bring on Travis Maddock. He has chose to deal with Spencer in more than one way. Part owner of 6-in-1 Meats, part owner of Carnis Meats. Runs his own ranch. Said he was retired in a lot of different industries. We don't want to go over that, but Travis, welcome on to the podcast, my man.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, dealing with the Meat Dude, now I've started dealing with the Meat Dude a little bit more. How far do you guys go back? Like, why are you guys such good partners?
I first, ran into Spencer back when I was at NDSU, working there as a graduate student, and he was an undergrad, and prior to him going up to Bowdoin to work, I kind of knew of him. And then after I left NDSU, he came back to the Meats Lab and was managing it there. And I got a lot of family work at had worked at NDSU at the time, brother and sister both on faculty there. I've always been kind of part of the NDSU meat science family, I guess, and Spencer was a big part of that family. Even after I left NDSU, I participated in barbecue boot camps occasionally and helped out and did with some research and things like that. So Spencer and I wouldn't say we became great friends during his tenure at NDSU, but certainly got to know Spencer and got to respect him, as not just as a butcher, but as a manager of meat, of a meat business. And so in 2020, when we bought the 6-in-1 Meats, or I guess the Prairie West Meats facility out in New Salem, I called Spencer up and I was fishing to see if he had any interest in
fishing.
I was fishing. To see if he had any interest in coming out and working with us. And lo and behold, he did, and we've been partners in the meats business ever since. So.
And it wasn't the sell that you had on me; it was the sell that you had for my wife. That's where I was like, well, Travis means business if he's willing to pitch it to my wife and convince her to
do a dance to get to New Salem.
For us to move out to New Salem. But 5-6 years later, and now we're starting this new gig, and
Carnis Meats.
One of the things I've learned over the years is how important it is to surround yourself with really smart, really competent people. And so in any of the businesses that I have an ownership in, we try to make sure that the folks that are running it know what they're doing. And so Spencer was a pretty easy choice, just so you know.
Well, look at
And
that.
yes, it was whatever I could do to get him to say yes. So.
Yeah, really
Yeah.
was.
Few extra hoops to jump through, but well, I'm sure glad you did. He moved here 3 months after I did, and now here we're doing a podcast 6 years later, which is kind of cool.
6 years later, pretty wild how everything works out.
Yeah, definitely. Sometimes it just comes together, at that point. But so now, why expand from the 6 and 1? Like, what drove you guys to say, you know what, this is going so great, and maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I mean, obviously things are moving in the right direction for you guys, but that to bite off such a big next step, what were those things that really made you jump through that?
Man, I think just opportunity. Anything in life comes down to timing, luck, and opportunity. And those 3 kind of fell together somewhat, maybe 2 out of 3.
Open on the luck.
Open on the luck. The luck is still to come. Kind of fell together at this place in Bismarck, and we've known the previous owner now for the last 2-3 years, and he's always kind of been in communications and in touch, and here we are. We did it, and we got a really, really good crew. As Travis said, getting people, smart, competent people as part of your team, and we have that right now in Bismarck. And there's some luck right there. That's a huge luck, and
for sure.
And yeah.
I think for me, this is kind of the next logical step, in our journey. And I'm a meathead. For whatever reason, I've always been intrigued by why consumers, eat meat, right? And I've got a graduate degree in meat science as well. And my study was, quality and consumer, and it's just something that's always intrigued me. And the plant in New Salem was a great start. But now this next step brings us one step closer to the consumer, right? We're really not doing in New Salem much, retail work there. Well, now we have the opportunity to sell retail and to visit every day with consumers about what are they looking for and what's their value proposition when it comes to value added meats or fresh beef or pork chops or whatever, right? And try to take some good North Dakota products too and add value to them. We don't get a chance in North Dakota to sell our wares to the consumer directly. We do, okay, but not at scale, and it's few and far between those opportunities. One of the things I've said many times is, if you want to eat a good North Dakota steak, fed good North Dakota corn, sometimes you have to go to Nebraska to find it, because we export all of our feeder calves, we export all of our corn, we export all of our feeds, and we let other states take advantage of that. Well, this is one more step to try to make things a little more local, and give some opportunities to local producers to add a value-added product into their program, and then also for Spencer and I to have a retail store and kind of showcase some of the things Spencer can do, particularly with processed meats. So.
Sweet. So last episode we were talking about the cool hats. Have you made this happen within the last 2 weeks?
We're working on it. I got some texts today from Emma. You guys all know Emma.
Yep.
And she's our marketing gal, and she did our graphics, of course, and she's working on some cool hats, and then also some cool aprons for the employees to wear when they're in there. Even in the retail stores, that's going to be a kind of our uniform is going to be a Carnis Meats cap with a nice apron that has the Carnis Meats logo on it. So yeah, we're working on some merch.
That's awesome.
Patrick is talking about the old school paper hats. He really thinks that we should bring those in.
I want to hear about the family history. I want all the stuff when I come into the.
There's definitely Spencer and I definitely talk about kind of the classic, family butcher, craft butcher shops of the old. But there's some places to draw some lines, and the old paper butcher hat is probably one of them. So.
Yeah, I suppose it might not be. If you get sprayed, then you'll always have to keep changing.
We could spread some sawdust on the floor for you every once in a while if you want, and just keep the meats laying out on the old hardwood tables and just cut them, like you see in the old pictures of the old butcher shops where they had sawdust in there. It still blows me away.
It's old school, but new school methods.
There you go.
Hopefully, right?
Yeah.
With,
right.
100% cleanliness.
Right.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. So what have you guys learned about each other more that you've got? Have you gotten closer? I mean, in terms of like you kind of know what each other are going to do, so like things get more efficient at this point? Is that where you're kind of at?
Well, from my side, I think 6-1. This Carnis business it's a different beast than 6-1.
Okay,
drastically different. You know, when the 6-1 crew brought me on board, I mean, we were handed a silver platter at 6-1, and we could just take it and run with it and make it our own and ramp production relatively short. I mean, we've had 2 expansions in the last 5 years at 6-1, which is pretty crazy. Like that's how well things have been going. Now this Carnis one is just with the retail side and the wholesale side. It's just a different beast. And Travis wears a lot of hats. He's got, you know, Maddock Ranch Supply, 6-1 Meats, the Maddock Ranch itself, now Carnis Meats, and then I'm still at 6-1 and Carnis. So I think we're trying to figure out a rhythm. Right. I'm not confident that we're there yet, but we're trying to figure out a rhythm.
Already. That sounds like a lot going on.
I think what we're working on right now is just trying to make sure, once again, that what everybody needs to be responsible for. And anytime you have a startup like this, you always have crossover. And I'll probably stick my beak into Spencer's world a little bit, and then he has to tell me to back off. And every once in a while, he comes over and he's like, "Oh, I've already taken care of that." And you know, so you find it's cadence is what you have to find, particularly when you're in a partnership with somebody. And, you know, to make sure that you're not stepping on each other's toes, but on the back end, you're holding each other accountable, right? Yep. And that's really important in a partnership, that we're holding each other accountable to make sure that the things are getting done that need to get done. And, you know, and that can lead to some, you know, consternation once in a while.
Which is good. Which is a good thing.
On the podcast.
Yeah. I did tell him. He asked me if there's any rules, and I said, just don't swear.
I've never met a meat man yet that didn't have a dirty mouth, just so you know. I worked at North American Bison for 10 years around meat cutters and butchers, and every one of them had terrible vocabulary. But anyway, we'll tone it down for this one. But
behind closed doors, come sit around the cutting table with me for a while. It's a little different story.
Yeah, I want my kids to watch, you know.
As this evolves, and we're just getting into this together, we've been literally partners on 6-1 now for 5 or 6 years, where even though, you know, Spencer has been the general manager and I've been the managing member of that business. So we've worked closely on these expansions and everything else. So I know his rhythms. I know when his fuse is getting a little short, or when he's got extra bandwidth and I can bug him with something. You get a pretty good sense of that.
I think I can feel that as well out too by doing the podcast.
You figured it out?
I'm figuring it out. He's super efficient, and I actually like it. And then that makes me be like, oh crap, I should be more efficient in that area too. And it's like, man, I'm a dreamer though. Like my wife, if she wasn't holding my balloon down, I'd be floating away somewhere.
It's different personalities, and you gotta meet in the middle and figure out how to work together.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good. I'm glad. Well, it sounds like from both your guys' answers, you guys both found 2 really good partners. So you're good to go. Absolutely.
Yeah, so far, I'm excited about the future.
Right? If you see Carnis meats for sale in a couple of years, you know.
Not saying I'm not going to disappear here in 8 or 9 months and nobody will know where to find me.
Yeah.
You know.
No, that's good. That's good stuff.
If you do, it wasn't because of Carnis.
Yeah. Yeah, it was back to those earlier jobs. Anyways, so you guys both meat science degrees, both barbecue boot camps. Who's cooking the better stuff? You guys competed? Have you competed against each other? I mean, is this gonna?
I don't think we have actually.
Oh, well, that sounds like something to do for a grand opening.
Fun. I got a lot of respect for Spencer and his cooking abilities, but I got to tell you, I'm pretty freaking good.
Oh yes, that sounds like a good deal. I'm just brewing it up.
You know what that means is that you got to start submitting some pictures to the Meat Dudes Meat of the Week.
Yep.
I'll see what I can do.
Yeah.
In my spare time, I'll click some pictures
if you're standing in front of it, you can click a picture. It's not going to be weird. You're just going to send it to us so we can admire it too.
I will say I haven't. I will say that my cooking ability has decreased in the last 5 years, as I just don't have the time that I used to.
He's downplaying a loss right now.
Yeah.
I think he's setting us all up when he gets his butt kicked.
I'm just saying that back in my barbecue boot camp days and my barbecue competition days, you didn't stand a chance. But
it'd be like the Rocky theme music, but he can't quite tie the apron because you got a little too big. And
I need some practice, but we should. That's a really good idea for the grand opening.
Just saying,
you should have a little grill off.
I think that'd be pretty cool, and let the people decide. Come in and they can vote all day. What was better, A or B or whatever. You guys.
I'll be texting Tam. We got an event coordinator for that, and I'll be texting her right after this to make sure we get that as part of the
you guys are welcome.
That sounds good. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that'll be a lot of things. I don't know if you guys have set a date yet. We don't need to announce anything like that, but I think it'll be really cool to really ramp that all up and start really promoting it, getting traffic in there, and you guys will start getting a feel for what Bismarck really wants, because that's going to be the biggest thing, right?
Yeah. So last week we did. We're calling it a soft launch. We have guys in there who are very skilled in meat processing that are making sausages, cutting steaks, packaging. We have product for sale, but the building itself isn't up to par where we want it, right? But so we opened the doors, nothing crazy, just said, hey, come on in. We're open short hours, 5 hours a day, Monday through Friday, noon to 5. Come on in, visit with Monty. He's our retail guy. He's a hoot. He'll talk your ear off.
He's awesome.
He's great. So, and then as we build and continue to make this place our own with, decor, signage, just the way we want the retail store to look, once we get all that dialed in, we'll have a grand opening and we'll have a little party per se.
So that'll be cool.
That'll happen sometime in June. So.
Awesome. So now that we have
2 meat scientists,
now that we have 2 meat science degrees,
we can battle it out.
It's time to pull out another question: dry aging versus wet aging. So, do you guys strictly only dry age at 6 and 1? Was the question, and then the ideal hanging or dry time or aging time, and then does it get better at 7 weeks, 7 days, 14 days, or 21 days?
All right, let's take this one question at a time.
I'm giving it out there.
6 and 1 we hang for a 2-week period, so it can be anywhere from 13 days up to 17. We only slaughter 1 day a week, so it's not an exact date. It just kind of depends on when they fall in that 2-week period. Second part of the question was, do we strictly dry age? Yeah. There's just a lot of portions of this question here.
Do you
Patrick.
only strictly dry age at 6 and 1?
Technically, yes, but it's whole carcass dry aging, which is a different beast than, let's say, restaurant dry aging, where it's a controlled environment, controlled humidity, and drastically controlled temperature. Whole carcass dry aging, you kind of lose control because you're in such a bigger space. We don't have a great grasp on humidity. We have obviously a pretty good grasp on temperature, but so that when to me legitimate dry aging, you have pure control of those parameters. Whole carcass, you kind of don't. But so there's that.
Okay.
And what was the
ideal hanging or aging time?
Okay, so this is where I want Travis to come in, because this is my opinion.
Okay.
I think anything over a 2-week time period, whole carcass aging, you are wasting your time and energy and money as a butcher shop.
Hold it that long.
As a whole carcass.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Because so aging is enzyme breakdown in the carcass, and after 10 days, enzymatic functions deplete. Is that a good estimate?
About seven actually. After about 7 days, you're probably about 90% of the way there when it comes to muscle fiber breakdown, you get the resolution of rigor right away, and then you start getting the calpain effect, where you get these enzymes that start breaking down the sarcomeres and the fibers, muscle fibers, right? And that's where you get tenderness. After about 7, 8, 9 days, depending on temperature, depending on the biology of the animal, somewhere between 85 and 90% of the tenderness is already taken care of. And the next 7 days, you get the rest of it. But after about 14 days, they're not going to tenderize anymore. You're not going to get any more tenderness or texture effects. But then what you start getting flavor development as the fats start to oxidize. And the other thing that happens is it continues to dry out, right? So the first 7 days, you wick a lot of moisture out of that carcass. That carcass releases a lot of moisture. The next 7 days, once again, you start releasing some more moisture. After 14 days, then it starts to slow down, but you do get the muscle fibers get tighter. The meat gets the texture gets tighter because you're releasing moisture, not cooking moisture. It's not that the meat's getting dry, but you're just setting it up, and that's where dry aging comes in. So like from 14 to 28 to 30 days is when you get that real effect, where you start changing the flavor profiles, and you actually start changing the mouthfeel, not the tenderness, but the mouthfeel that you get with a dry aged product. So.
And I think most consumers can't tell the difference between tenderness and mouthfeel,
That's true.
or dryness versus moist. It's all it's always described as just tender. That meat was tender. It's like, was it tender, or was it juicy? Or what, so that's kind of
there's a whole nother
tough to
level
have that conversation.
But that's where you do all the competition stuff. That's where you break it down really specific. Yeah.
Right.
You can develop some additional flavor, from 14 to 28 days. Certainly in the middle meats, the ribeyes and your strips, and maybe the tenderloin a little bit. You can develop just some little. What you do is you just make the flavor a little more. It makes it stronger, right? Okay. Because you're getting rid of some of the moisture and some things like that. So you're just making a more intense flavor. You got to get out to about 60, 70 days, though, 50, 60, 70 days before you start seeing the real dry age, like that fat's turning over, and you're getting the fat effect of the oxidation of the fats are actually affecting the flavor of the meat. So if you go to a place where you get they have a dry aged steak, and let's say, it's got this beautiful chocolate nutty flavor to it, right? And you'll see some of these high end restaurants will talk about that. Well, they're talking about the oxidation of the fat in the muscle is causing that change of flavor. It went from being what you would consider to be the umami of beef, the fat, the salt that's knocking your pants off, to a more different type of flavor. And that doesn't occur probably till 50, 60 days for dry aging.
And that aging is, those primals are pulled off the carcass and done in a controlled environment. This is not, whole carcass aging anywhere past 14, it's wasting your time.
You're wasting your time. And if you left the carcass hang in our cooler for 40 days, it would get a little fuzzy. So that's just, carcass coolers aren't designed to control humidity and temperature like that. You have to be in a very much a controlled environment to dry age much past, say 20 days.
Okay. Well, that's pretty interesting. Be able to break it down and make it taste tender in my mouth.
Yeah.
Right?
I think the longest I ever aged a strip loin. No, it was a rib loin. I gave it as a Christmas gift to my brother and sister. I was like, I'm gonna do something special, and I aged that sucker for 100 days in a carcass cooler. Not the greatest method. Great. But I'll never you could cut that thing with a fork.
Really?
But my sister, and then I cooked the steaks for them for Christmas, and I'll never forget. My sister was like, "This is disgusting."
Because it was so flavorful, I'm sure.
It's like earthy, nutty, almost chocolatey. It doesn't taste like beef.
She's like, "This is awful."
Yeah.
You inevitably you get a little rancidity now, and there's no way around that, because you're taking those fats and they're oxidizing, right? And so it blends in. I won't tell you what restaurant it was, but I do a lot of volunteer work for beef, and we went to this place as a group, and they had a 365-day aged ribeye. And I said, well, cut me one of those steaks. It was incredibly expensive, but I thought I just got to try this, and I couldn't eat it because it was rancid. The flavor of the fat, it was overwhelmed to me personally. Now, some people may like that. Everybody at that stage, everybody has a different palate. But for me, it wasn't very good. I spent $300 on a steak that I couldn't finish. But now I know, right?
You just paired it with the wrong wine.
Yeah.
That was your problem.
Bush Light is not.
You needed to pair that with some wild turkey. That's the only thing. I could have washed that. Some Yukon Jack.
A tall glass, yeah.
Something to wash her down.
Oh, that's awesome. Awesome. Convention, couple days, right?
Yeah.
Both of you guys are going, right?
Yeah. I'm going.
So we'll be dropping this the morning of, man. People will be just raving about it.
Yeah. I'm going to 6-1. Travis will be coming as just himself or Carnis or
whatever.
We're bringing some people along. It'll be fun. 6-1's got 5 products in the product show.
Ooh,
so
there we go. Looking for some plaques.
We might throw some Carnis stuff in the ring. Because our production manager Corey knocked some product out of the park this last week.
Fantastic.
Where I'm like, we got to get this in the product show. So
if we can,
we're gonna try.
You might know the guy to get this.
I might know every single member of the board.
I think you should.
Yeah, I might. I'll probably get it in.
Get in there. Oh, that's good. Good. Well, yeah, I appreciate you, Travis, coming on and sharing some good insight to what you guys are dealing with, Carnis. It sounds like you guys have got a really good focus, good direction going so far. I'm excited to see when you pop the top and really pull it all back and let her rev up and go. It
was fun. It was fun having another meat scientist on the podcast, Travis.
I feel like we should have like beakers and like some sort of like Bunsen on over
sometimes
here.
people might think that I'm just talking out of my butt, but
there's another guy. You guys went to the same school.
you pretty much can make up whatever you want, because who's going to tell you you're wrong?
Right. I sure am not. That's for sure. Most of the time, I want to almost like back it up a little bit and break it down more so I can definitely follow along. But that's part of the deal. If you guys have any questions, ask the meat dude at gmail.com, and then also we'll start with the meat of the week. We'll put out something here in the next couple days that goes over just putting in submissions. You can DM, put in the comments, videos, pictures, whatever. We'd love to see what you're cooking, what you're smoking, all that good stuff meat wise. And thanks again, Travis. I'm Patrick, and that's Spencer, the meat dude.
Thanks, Travis.
Episode 12, we're out. Thanks, man.
That sure smells good. Firing it up in the backyard, cracking one. It's time to chill. From the ranch to the steak, take it from the farm and put it on your plate. It's the meat dude, yeah. It's the meat dude, yeah. All the degrees from universities, bringing science in on how hot it's supposed to be. It's the meat dude, yeah. It's the meat dude, yeah. Spicy, mild, or somewhere in the middle. Answering all your questions, so turn it up a little. Is a meat dude, yeah. It's a meat dude, yeah.